Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a short little video on the GLSSWRKS Akari. You guys can see the design here. It is absolutely beautiful. I think it's one of the best designs on a mousepad to date, with all of the design elements working, I think, absolutely beautifully for a glass pad. You can see their logo as well as the limited number on the top left, mine being 9 of 500. The GLSSWRKS logo reminding me kind of like these old school little elements or vibes to it. But not obtrusive, not obnoxious in the overall feeling of the pad. I think everything just flows very nicely together. Taking the design, I think the main character looks awesome. She's got just little elements that shine like on her hair, the necklace that make it pop and provide that extra design element. You've got the tan oranges on the bottom that kind of fade into brighter oranges and yellows as you move up the pad, and the Akari on the bottom left. I think the pad just pops really nicely on my desk, with the main character popping because of the different shades of whites, again, in the background. Right now, this is going to be my main pad for the indefinite future. I think they've done a tremendous job in terms of the performance, meeting the design aesthetic that I really like to have on my desk right now. For a glass pad, I just feel like there's no reason not to have a beautiful design. We saw awesome designs from SkyPad, like the Burrow's Mind and other designs prior to that have been loved by many. And the nice thing about the Akari is it's not a focus on an anime character that is of the biddies, the bosoms. You don't really have to worry about that. It's really just a focus on the design elements on the pad, and I do appreciate that. So I do think that it's a nice variation from what other companies have done in the past. The design, the performance, everything taking this out of the box was just a purely blissful experience. My first game on this has felt the same as my last game on this, and the performance out of the box, the same still, which you would expect on almost any glass pad that's not coated. Overall, the performance feel from my first game, the pad just feels so open, but the glide is exceptionally smooth. I never feel like I'm getting this additional control from the pad, but because the pad is a glass pad, I get to use my wrist as a wrist, primarily a wrist aimer. I can plant my wrist and apply downward force on my wrist to pick up kind of like an anchor on the pad. And as I am whipping my mouse around, you'll see I don't have any wiggle on end range of motion. I come to a perfect, complete, and abrupt stop. And as you guys hear me wiggling my mouse around and just dragging full-size core pad skates across the glass pad, there's no grind. The audible noise is reduced. And that's one of the things you'll notice almost immediately on the Akari, is that reduction in that annoying sound of skates gliding across glass pads, which the SkyPad 4.0 or the Wallhack SP004 is even more audible than the Akari. So that is just a beautiful thing that they've improved upon from many glass pads before it. Overall performance, again, it feels so smooth and open, but I can come to a complete stop whenever I want. And I don't find moisture becoming a issue on this pad at all. Even better on this than the SP004. My skin just moves flawlessly. It's not a pad that I would need a sleeve. The SP004 handled that better than the SkyPad 3.0, but comparing the two, the Akari is just more pleasing on the skin. I move better, I move faster, and it's just a very smooth glide. So when I am planting my wrist and then I am ready to get moving, I can lift my wrist or alleviate some of that pressure, and it just feels so open, fast, and very controlled still in my own individual movements, as you're really the one behind the movements on a glass pad. I feel like that sense has improved on the Akari over the SP004. Again, it is marginal, and I feel like static friction I have donuts right now on my Board Z B-Stacks. I have, again, full-size skates on my Vax EXE. Static movements, you kind of get this like buttery air hockey effect on the SP004, whereas on the Akari, you still maintain a little bit of that texture of the skates hitting that glass surface, I feel like it's a little bit more controlled, and I like that on the Akari. So overall, with static friction, with dynamic movements, feeling just as good, if not better than the SP004. And overall, every skate that I've tried working just tremendously on the Akari. I think it is the best glass mousepad on the market right now. Again, better on the skin, a beautiful glide for dynamic as well as static for a glass pad, and a reduction in that audible noise compared to every other glass pad on the market right now. I think it tops the Wallhack SP004, but still a fantastic glass pad if you've already purchased one. I think the thing that is really going to be a driving force for glass pads in the future is going to be combining that design element with that performance. And for me, having a design like this next to a all solid color pad, it would just be hard to take this off my desk for a solid pad at this point in time. The performance is top tier, the design aesthetic is top tier, and Glassworks is definitely going to be cooking up a lot of these designs in the future, and I think crushing it if they're going to be putting that passion, as much passion into this project as the Kurasan into their other glass designs. They are going to be a company that is going to be a very formidable top-tier company moving into the future. Again, these pads, these designs are limited, and my understanding is there's going to be like a lot of limited drops moving into the future. And the nice thing is, again, you've got that number out of 500 on the top left, which I think is really cool for a limited design. So, I mean, I don't really have much else to say. It's just, I think the best glass pad on the market right now in terms of a design aesthetic as well as performance. They've done a tremendous job. Glassworks, way to go. And guys, I have no affiliate code. I have no affiliation with the company in any way, shape, or form. Affiliate codes do not drive the overall opinions of any review, as they should not for any reviewer. But overall, the pad, top tier performance. The design is, again, a absolute killer, and overall just a blissful experience from the second I took it out into the last second that I played. So overall, it's going to be the pad on my desk moving into the indefinite future. That's it for this one, guys. I hope it helped. If it did, please leave a sub to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next review. Peace.